2026 raises a dangerous question about one man and limitless money. What if someone could buy anything on Earth without pause? Castles in France already belong to him. Super yachts wait in the ocean like floating kingdoms. But this story goes far beyond luxury. In 2017, a mystery buyer paid $450 million for one painting. It became the most expensive artwork in history overnight. The buyer was a 32-year-old prince rising fast. Within years, he would command nearly $1 trillion, and that power would keep expanding. While most people dream of owning one home, this man controls palaces, private jets, and entire skies. His spending is not about pleasure, but about influence. Every purchase sends a signal to the world, but what signal is he really sending? By 2026, he controls global investments worth almost $1 trillion. He is building a $500 billion city in the desert. Behind the gold and the glamour, there is ambition, controversy, and huge risk. And millions of lives depend on the outcome. This is the story of Mohammed bin Salman. Inside his insane luxury lifestyle, an iron grip on power, and a vision that could reshape history forever. Born on August 31, 1985, Mohammed bin Salman was not meant to rule. He was one prince among dozens, far from the throne. Yet his rise moved faster than anyone expected. By 2015, he became defense minister at just 29 years old, and the world took notice. At 29, he controlled one of the largest military budgets on Earth. While others built careers, he commanded armies. He met presidents, made decisions, and shaped a nation's future. The pressure was massive, and the stakes were global. But this was only the start. His father, King Salman, changed the succession for him. Older princes were passed over without warning. By 2017, he became crown prince at 31. He now held more power than any modern Saudi royal. That shocked the entire kingdom. Most 29-year-olds worry about rent or promotions. He controlled a $50 billion defense budget. Every move was planned, and every alliance calculated. Rivals noticed, and resentment grew. Enemies were forming fast. He had power, but a bigger question remained. How much wealth did this young prince really control? The numbers were so huge that experts disagreed, and what came next would shock the world. Estimates of Mohammed bin Salman's wealth swing from $5 billion to $500 billion. This confusion exists because he does not just own money. He controls systems, funds, and entire economies. That level of access changes every rule of wealth. And that is where things get unclear. Imagine having reach over $1.4 trillion in family assets. That fortune belongs to the House of Saud. This is not a bank balance, but national scale power. This kind of money can reshape countries. Very few people ever touch this level. In 2025 to 2026, his personal wealth sits near $25 billion. Through the Public Investment Fund, he controls $925 billion. Together, that makes him arguably the richest leader alive. No CEO or investor comes close to that reach. And the gap keeps widening. Jeff Bezos built his fortune over 3 decades. MBS gained instant access to wealth larger than many nations. That difference explains his speed and bold moves. Every decision carries global impact, and the world keeps watching. He does not hide this wealth. He spends it loudly, and the world reacts. Each purchase becomes global news. Each deal sends a clear message. But whose money is it really? Critics ask if this is personal wealth or public wealth. The line between state and self feels blurred. That question fuels global debate. And it leads to one shocking purchase. There is a property in France that stunned everyone. Even global celebrities wanted it. But MBS bought it first. In 2015, a mystery buyer purchased a French castle near Paris. The price was a shocking $300 million. It became one of the most expensive homes ever sold. The buyer was Mohammed bin Salman, and the world paid attention. This was not just a castle. It was a fantasy built in stone. The land covered 57 acres of pure privacy. Inside were 10 bedrooms, 2 ballrooms, and a nightclub. There was even a moat around the estate. But the luxury went deeper. The fountains, lights, and air were phone-controlled. There was a private cinema and indoor pools, an aquarium, squash court, and 3,000-bottle wine cellar followed. Everything moved at the touch of a screen. This was power made visible. Most people dream of a small home and a yard. MBS owned a palace run by a smartphone. Even the garden fountains danced on command. That level of comfort felt unreal, and the story spread fast. The castle was so stunning that global celebrities wanted it. A famous wedding was once planned there, but MBS bought it first. Critics called it excess without limits. For him, it was only the start. A $300 million home shocked the world. But the next purchase was even bigger. What he bought next rewrote history. In November 2017, Christie's New York held a historic auction. A Leonardo da Vinci painting went under the hammer. The final bid landed at $450 million. The buyer was Mohammed bin Salman, and art history changed overnight. The painting shows Christ holding a crystal orb. It was created 500 years ago. It once hung in European royal halls. Now it belonged to one man. That shift stunned the art world. The artwork became the most expensive ever sold. For years, its location stayed secret. Later reports said it hung on a super yacht. Plans then moved it toward a Saudi museum. The mystery only grew. Most museums hope to own one Da Vinci. MBS owned the most expensive one. Not behind ropes, but near private decks. That contrast felt unreal, and critics spoke up fast. Some experts questioned authenticity. Debates filled newsrooms and galleries. MBS did not respond. The message was clear and loud. He could buy anything. In 1958, the same painting sold for $60. In 2017, it sold for $450 million. One canvas, two prices, a massive gap. But a bigger luxury was still coming. A painting shocked the world. What came next floated on water. In 2015, MBS bought the Serene, a 439-foot super yacht. The price reached $400 to $500 million. He did not just charter it. He outbid Bill Gates and bought it outright. That move shocked billionaires. This was not a boat. It was a floating city on water. It had 7 decks and 12 luxury cabins. There were 2 helipads and a nightclub. There was even a snow room at sea. Yes, real snow. Bill Gates rented this yacht for $5 million per week. When it went on sale, he showed interest. MBS simply purchased the whole thing. The deal closed fast and quietly. That contrast said everything. Most people rent boats for one day. Some rich people rent them weekly. MBS bought this yacht like a car. That ease showed his scale of wealth. But even palaces can fail. In August 2017, the yacht ran aground near Egypt. A navigation error caused damage. Even a $500 million yacht has bad days. Power does not stop accidents. The yacht costs more than some small nations earn yearly. One man's toy equals a national economy, and his travel only gets bigger. A palace can float, but how does he cross the sky? MBS does not fly first class or normal private jets. He owns a fleet of aircraft turned into flying palaces. These include Boeing 747s and Airbus A380. Each jet is built for power, not travel, and the details are unreal. Imagine flying with a concert hall and a Turkish bath. There is a mini hospital and private bedrooms. Some jets even carry a garage for luxury cars. This is how MBS crosses continents, but it goes even further. One Boeing 747-400 holds royal suites and a grand piano bar. There is a spa, a cinema, and a command center. A prayer room always points to Mecca in the sky. Technology follows faith at 40,000 feet. That detail stunned observers. Most travelers fight for legroom and overhead space. MBS travels with saunas, lounges, and throne-like seats. The gap feels impossible to bridge. Then came a public surprise. When Imran Khan visited Saudi Arabia, MBS gifted him a private plane to fly home. He said he could not allow commercial travel. That single jet costs millions to maintain. Was it kindness or power? Jets are impressive, but his parties are even louder. In 2015, a 29-year-old MBS wanted to celebrate. He did not book a club or rent a hall. He booked an entire island chain in the Maldives. The cost reached $50 million in one night, and the scale stunned everyone. Imagine artificial snow falling on tropical beaches. Over 100 performers filled the night with sound and light. Global stars performed live for one guest. More than 300 staff served the event. It felt unreal. The party took place at Vela Private Island. It is one of the most exclusive locations on Earth. MBS did not rent a room. He rented the entire island. No outsiders allowed. Most people spend hundreds on a birthday. This night cost more than most earn in a lifetime. The contrast was hard to ignore, and the world took sides. When news of the party leaked, MBS left immediately with his team. Privacy mattered more than attention. That move sent a clear signal. Control comes first. Critics asked about schools and hospitals. Supporters saw personal freedom. The debate grew louder, but his focus was shifting. Luxury was not the end goal. A bigger national plan was coming next. In 2017, MBS launched Vision 2030 for Saudi Arabia. The goal was to end oil dependence for good. He wanted a modern economy built on new ideas. Tourism, business, and innovation became the focus. This was a bold reset. Imagine changing the future of 36 million people. Not just jobs, but culture and daily life. This was not a normal economic plan. It was a rewrite of national identity. Few leaders dare this. More than 50% of GDP came from oil. Vision 2030 aimed to break that habit. Money would come from technology and entertainment. Clean energy would shape the next era. The risk was huge. It felt like a family business changing everything at once. But this business was an entire country. Failure would hurt millions, not investors. Success could change the region. That pressure was real. Changes began inside daily life. Women were allowed to drive. Cinemas and concerts opened. The past rules began to loosen. That shocked many people. Supporters saw a modernizer. Critics saw control through reform. The debate still divides the world, and one project defines it all. A $500 billion city was coming next. NEOM is MBS's biggest project and boldest idea. It carries a $500 billion price tag on the Red Sea coast. The land spans 26,500 square kilometers of open desert. The plan runs on clean energy only. This is the future he wants. Imagine a city with no cars and no streets. People move by fast transit and new technology. Services sit within a 5-minute walk. Life feels controlled and efficient, but the scale is extreme. The center is called the Line. It was planned to stretch 170 kilometers. 2 mirrored towers rise 500 meters high. They were meant to hold 9 million residents. The promise sounded perfect. Most cities grow over hundreds of years. This one was planned in a single decade. That speed raised serious doubts. And the doubts proved real. By 2025, over $50 billion was already spent. The project was scaled back sharply. Only 2.4 to 5 kilometers may be finished first. The dream began to shrink, but problems went deeper. Reports spoke of forced moves and destroyed villages. The city of the future cast a dark shadow, and funding power became the real story. Behind NEOM stands a global money machine. The Public Investment Fund is Saudi Arabia's state wealth engine. MBS chairs it and decides where the money moves. Under his control, it grew from $150 billion to nearly $925 billion. That is one leader directing near-trillion power, and markets feel every move. Each decision shifts stocks, jobs, and prices worldwide. Companies rise or slow based on his approval. This influence runs daily, not yearly. The scale is rare and unequaled. Few can match it. PIF placed $3.5 billion into Uber. It committed $45 billion to SoftBank's Vision Fund. Billions flowed into Tesla and Lucid Motors. Entertainment and tourism deals followed fast. The reach kept expanding. Most investors buy shares. MBS buys control-size stakes. Entire sectors feel the pressure. That power brings scrutiny. And then came the shock. In November 2017, an anti-corruption crackdown began. Hundreds were detained at a luxury hotel. Assets worth over $800 billion were frozen. Supporters said justice. Critics said consolidation. The debate never ended. Sports deals and mega events polish the image. Human rights questions remain. The empire funds cities, resorts, and nuclear plans. So what does this power mean? MBS is not just a rich man with expensive things. He is reshaping a nation of 36 million people. Every yacht, palace, and investment serves one goal. That goal is total control over the future. This changes how everything looks. The castles are not only luxury symbols. The jets are not just comfort in the sky. The trillion-dollar fund is not simple wealth. They are signals of power with no limits. And limits matter. Wealth without direction is just excess. But vision mixed with unchecked power is dangerous. It can build nations or break them. MBS holds both paths at the same time, and the choice is heavy. In 2026, this 41-year-old prince stands at a turning point. He could transform the Middle East forever, or he could overreach and lose everything. History is watching closely, and time is moving fast. He can buy castles, paintings, jets, and cities, but he cannot easily buy a lasting legacy. The future is being written right now, and the outcome will shape generations. From a young prince far from the throne to the most powerful man in the Middle East, MBS's rise changed power, wealth, and leadership forever. His future remains uncertain and unsettled, and the story is still unfolding. This was never just about yachts or private jets. It was about how wealth, vision, and control meet. One man holds decisions that shape millions of lives. That truth matters more than any luxury, and it affects the real world. If this story helped you see power differently, tap subscribe and turn on notifications. We break down stories beyond headlines, stories that explain who controls the future and why it matters. Now share your view in the comments. Is MBS a visionary builder or a powerful ruler without limits? Your answer keeps this conversation alive.